and welcome to another episode of the Butterfly Effect Talk Show. My name is Della.
I'm Felicia.
And I'm Colleen. Hello.
We're always taken back by this.
Every
Welcome.
time.
Yes. Welcome back, everyone, to our 2-year anniversary show. We've done officially 24 Butterfly Effects. Can you believe this?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Time flew.
Yes. And it has. And we've had so much fun doing this show. And we want to just take a moment and thank every single viewer for being with us and also for your comments and for your participation during the show. It's always fun to read your comments and see that you are enjoying the show, and also hearing from your experiences has been amazing. It's been a treat. So how are you, ladies?
Very good.
Excited.
You want to take a moment and say hi?
Go, Colleen.
Oh, hello everybody. Hello. You know what? I'm curious about, because we've already done, I think, 24. I guess it would stand that this would be the 25th. So I'd be curious.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'd be curious. And later on, ladies, I'll ask you to answer this question after we do our topic for today, is what would be your top episodes and why? So I'd love for people
You couldn't tell us before so we could be prepared for this?
Yes.
It just popped in my head. I'm sorry. But if I'm going to put the audience on notice, and like you guys get to be surprised too.
You know what? If you see me gone during the show, it's because I'm going back to the shows and taking a peek.
I'm with you, Della. I honestly, I'm with you. Okay. It's okay to be put on the spot sometimes, but it's
Yes.
quite exciting. It's been a long time. And though it's only 2 years and it feels like forever, so much has happened. So much has happened.
So much has happened, and things are changing again, and going back to semi-normal, whatever that means for everybody. And people are getting back to seeing each other in person. The anxiety is kind of gone, from the scare anyways. But I think the aftermath of what has happened in the past 2 years is something that we are going to have to face. And I think that, isn't it amazing that we are doing this during the month of May, which is Mental Health Month? And that's why we picked the topic that is, I think, one of the most important subjects to talk about when it comes to mental health, because I truly believe that. And Felicia, you're going to talk all about that today. The relation between nutrition and mental health. And so I'm going to put up the banner on here so that people can see what we're talking about. And as always, please do comment, ask questions, like, and share if you like this talk. And so, Felicia, do you want to talk a little bit about what makes you an expert on this topic?
Yes, absolutely. Well, many of you may already know, and many of you may not, but I am a professional regulated homeopath in Ontario, Canada, with the College of Homeopaths, and I'm regulated under the Health and Long-Term Care Regulation Act. I am actively practicing homeopathy, lifestyle microscopy, reflexology, and body talk. Now, for the purpose of clarification, I am not a medical doctor. I'm a homeopathic practitioner and physician, but not a medical doctor. So I don't have a PhD in medicine. And I am not here to diagnose or suggest any of you will ever stop your prescription medication. And the information I'm about to discuss and share with you today is only for research and educational purposes and not intended to prescribe or change treatments. So that sums pretty much who I am in a nutshell.
Alrighty. And we've given our disclaimer, so we can relax now.
Yes.
Before we start, Felicia, I want to hand it over to Colleen. kind of ask you, I know, right? So, how does it feel to be put
Coming
on?
back.
What, Colleen, when it comes to you, and how do you feel about nutrition and mental health? What have you heard about this topic
It's
at all,
so
if
funny
anything?
that this is our topic for this week because I had a conversation with a client today, and I wasn't even thinking about our topic tonight. I was, focused on the client. And now that when we're talking, you bring up the title, and I'm like, oh, I was talking about that with a client today. And he was talking about
A
how,
coincidence.
yeah, I know, right? The synergy that happens in our lives is once you start noticing stuff, it's just amazing. But he
Yeah.
was talking about how some foods, because he's been working through some anxiety and depression and stuff like that, and he mentioned that certain food types trigger a more depressive state of mind. So it's so interesting that this is our topic today, and I didn't bring it up with him at all. I didn't even mention that we're doing the show today, and yeah, so I have seen evidence of it, and I have heard it from a lot of people. So I think that this is a really great topic, and thank you, Felicia, for sharing with us the information for today, because I think it will resonate with a lot of us. So thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I've heard so much about this in the past couple of years because, I've had a lot of opportunities to interview people, nutritionists and homeopaths and natural therapists, and they all talk about this gut health. And it's amazing how I realized that how come I never heard about this before? It just all of a sudden, I don't know, it came to the forefront because of the pandemic, or was it always there and I was just not tuned to it? For whatever reason, it just came up a lot in the past couple of years. And I think it's such a good topic to talk about. And if anyone could talk about this, is you, Felicia, because you are an expert in this. So take it away.
So I actually see it every day in clinic because I do live blood analysis, which is pretty much a drop of your blood, seen it under the microscope. So, don't know if you heard about Roger Williams, but as you guys were saying or you were talking, I was just thinking about one sentence that he wrote a while back, and I totally agree with it. And that is that the human body treats itself, and proper nutrition provides the resources needed to accomplish that task. So we always hear that our body has an innate wisdom and the ability to heal itself. And the truth is it does, provided that we nourish the body and provided with what it needs to function optimally. Now, 100% I agree with you, Della, and also with you, Colin. Our gut health, believe it or not, is 70% of our immune system. 70%. That's a lot of percentage. So if you have any disharmony or anything that is not functioning well in your digestive and colon, something there going on, 100% you will feel it and your health will decline if you don't correct it. So we are all very unique in the way we are built. And we have what is referred to as biochemical individuality. So what does this mean? It means that we are born with inborn metabolic weaknesses. Therefore, our ability to absorb, digest, assimilate nutrients is very different from one person to another. So that's basically how we are unique. So if we look back, Hippocrates even said it very well many, 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 many moons ago, that once meant food, it's another's meant poison. Unfortunately, we live in a society and culturally, we hear all the time being emphasized that, well, rather, there are so many conflicts regarding dietary beliefs. Okay, so it's you hear about all these diets that people are doing or taking or doing detox here and detox there without understanding how the body works. And what does it mean really to detox? I'm not going to go into that. However, there are so many nutritional theories who recognizes the differences among certain groups of individuals. I'm sure you've heard about the book Eat Right for Your Blood Type, for example.
No, I have not.
Oh, you have not? Oh, okay.
Mm.
So there
You
is
would be wrong to be sure about that.
okay, so there is such thing. There is such book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. So if you do, whomever is listening today, I can gift at the end of the show. If you put in the notes that you have listened and you have some feedback on this talk, I can promise that I'll send you a summary of your blood type with foods that you can eat, you should avoid, and foods that are neutral for your blood type. And it's do you okay? So yeah,
Me too. Should I go in the comments and
you can
write
go
my
in the
name?
comments at the end of the
I
show.
really
All
like
right.
this show.
Okay, because I'm gonna ask you questions in the chat if you DM me to make sure that you listen to this.
Oh,
Okay,
there'd be a quiz.
that's the gift. That's the
Okay,
gift I'll give to everyone.
gotcha.
And if you don't know your blood type, come to my clinic. I'll do it for you for free. Um,
I actually know my blood type. That's
you do?
yes, I do.
Good. So here is the thing: the body does have the answer. No book has the answer. Those are just guides, right? Those are tools that can help us. And that book is very accurate most often than not. But again, when it comes to nutritional deficiency, nutritional weaknesses, nutritional or anything to do with nutrition and gut health, it's all very, very much individualized.
Mhm.
Not you can't use a cookie cutter protocol. It just doesn't work. So I've been studying this life cell microscopy for over 15 years now. And I have seen that from one drop of blood taken from your fingertip, okay, I can determine your unique nutritional status. It's in depth. I will encourage you, if you don't come to me, go somewhere else and do it just for the sake of trying that and see for yourself. It's incredible what we see in this microscope, okay, with one drop of blood. So what I love about the microscope is that it's helpful for me and for you to understand the subclinical conditions that do not show up in conventional laboratory tests, okay? So long before you get the diagnosis, the body gives us subtle indications that things may not be working as well as they used to. And often you hear people say, well, I have gone to my doctor and everything is perfect, but yet I don't feel good. There is something wrong. There has to be something wrong, right? It doesn't show in the blood. And why it doesn't show is because it's not the way general GP looks at the laboratories, the way they look at the blood. It's not as in depth, right? The microscope is not as in depth to see things before they actually manifest into the physical body, before you actually have the symptoms. But the body shows signs before you are ready for the diagnosis. So give you an example. If you are deficient, let's say in calcium or magnesium, you will need to be deficient for 7 consecutive years for it to show in the regular blood work. So now I need a wow, okay? Because
Yes.
it's amazing. Like when I learned that, I was really right. So researchers have also noted that certain changes take place in the body when it gets too much or too little of any given nutrient. So it's not always deficiency, it's also excess that happens. And unfortunately, the laboratory tests cannot detect nutritional status in any way, shape, or form. So I love our doctor, Canadian doctor, David Rowland. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was Canada's first nutritional consultant. And he said it extremely well. So please pay attention, because this is really detailed. And it's a mind twister and a tongue twister. So bear with me, but listen, okay? Nutritional symptomatology, it's an approximate yet reliable method of measurement. When it comes to health, it is far better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. Did you get
Yeah,
it?
I would agree.
That's exactly what I've done when I read that the first time, Colleen. I laughed and I'm like, huh? I read it again to say, okay, I think I missed something. But yeah, that's very much so. What we eat affects our body, and what we put in our mouth affects your mood and your brain energy, your memory, your ability to handle stress and deal effectively with complex problems or just simply daily tasks, as you said, Colin, about this client of yours you talked about earlier. And I'm sure one point or another throughout your life, you've noticed that there were certain things you've eaten or certain things you've drunk, right? Coffee or pop or something that had made you feel different, or maybe heart palpitation or sweats, or, yes, Colin.
In North America, for every Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, if you've eaten turkey, you've had the little nap after you finish.
That's correct. So turkey puts us to sleep.
Yeah.
So have you ever questioned why?
Um,
Thought people ate too much.
yeah, overfilled. But there's something I am aware that there is something in turkey that makes us, that triggers that feeling. So, but I have not been curious enough to delve into it in
No
detail. So,
kidding. No, I think you've lived in denial, Colleen. You just don't want to know.
So, what I find mind boggling is that people don't ask questions like, is there a connection to foods that we eat and the health of our brain? Or are there type of foods that boost our brain health or slow down the brain aging? Or how do we put together a lifelong brain boosting meal plan?
yeah.
How,
How do we? How do we?
I think for me, when I think about it, and if I could just interject here for a moment, is that, sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, it's just so complicated. Like it's too much work to do this, to do what is proper. And so a lot of people, or maybe they don't have the means because it costs too much money, or I don't know, for so many different reasons. But for me personally, when I've thought about this, I've heard of what's good for me and what's bad for me, and what, like you said, boosts my brain. A meal plan to follow is so complicated to me. So that's for me. That's been what held me back.
So I hear you and I agree with you. It is complicated, but we have professionals out there who can actually help with that. Like if you come to me and you say, okay, the only thing I want from you is to take my blood type, get my blood at the microscope, and create a meal plan for me for my type, for whatever you see that it's happening in my body, that it's not functioning properly, I'll be more than happy to do it. Come for 2 sessions and then come in 6 months to see if what I presented to you, it's making a difference in your blood.
That sounds
And
easy.
it's not a, and I'm passionate about teaching, particularly women, because women are the head of the family when it comes to the health of the family. So if I empower you and give you tools that you can use all by yourself, so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel, oh my gosh, this is too much, like I can't do this, like it's too much work, like I agree with you, you don't even have to do it. Just come for 2 sessions and you get it all. And then not only for you, you can even get it for your family.
And
Yes,
that was my question. I love it. I'm in school. Excuse me. So that you just kind of touched on what my question is if I get evaluated by you and you make suggestions for my blood type and my, like, where my body is, will that still benefit my family if I change if they're eating with my way?
absolutely. Because again, it will not be personalized to their personal needs, right? Individualized to their. However, if you come and say, okay, my son is type A blood and I'm type O blood, then I can provide you with a form that gives you both.
Ah.
blood types. I'll give you, let's say, a meal plan for you, but now you have the list that I gave you for your son. So from my recommendation and suggestions for your blood type, let's say, because you are my patient, you can easily transfer the information that I gave you. And instead of putting, let's say, I don't know, a steak on your meal, you're going to put broccoli on his because he's type A. So he can eat meat the way you do because you are type O, just as an example. Okay. So that's the only thing.
Wait a minute. I am type A. You're saying I can't eat meat?
Okay. Type A can eat meat, but more selectively and specifically, and not as much. Type O, however, they need meat. They need animal protein, and it's very difficult to keep their health in check without that. And I can vouch for that because I'm a type O, and I have been vegetarian for 12 years. After 12 years, I was so sick, almost hospitalized, almost dying, and that's when I actually started looking into the nutrition and everything that I'm doing now, because I was like on the verge of dying, not knowing why.
Wow.
So
we're talking.
What? That's amazing. Okay. So what about for B positive?
So we will not here today.
No, just one thing: meat or no meat.
You can do both. You can be a vegetarian or you can be a meat eater. So you are lucky.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So imagine this.
Colleen, na boo boo.
You can do that. You can, because you are lucky. You're lucky actually if you're a B. In a way, I mean, we are lucky in different ways, and you will see once you see the whole charts, right? About each blood type has its pros and cons, like the way life is, right? So imagine this: you sucked all the moisture out of your brain, and you broke it down to its constituent nutritional content. What do you think it will look like? Have you ever thought about it?
A raisin.
Awful.
So what are some, let's say, out of the top of your head, guessing, okay? What will be the brain optimum need to stay healthy, let's say, to keep your brain happy?
Lots of water.
Water is very good.
Hopefully oxygen.
Yeah, so that means breathing, right? Conscious breathing. Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. You know a lot more than you think you do, Della.
See?
I'm trying to think of what is it, calcium that transports the message, or what is it, the
Oh yeah, calcium has something to do with the nerves, doesn't it? And the nervous system. Yeah. It's all coming back to me.
The message said it, yeah.
It's actually
the potassium, the electrolytes. It's basically the electrolytes.
Electrolytes. Okay. Well, yeah, that's kind of glucose to your brain, which is the fuel.
Oh, glucose. That's it. Glucose. That's what we need.
Oh yeah, that's the energy for the brain, is the glucose. Yes.
Have you heard the term the brain superfoods?
Yes, I've heard of them actually.
So have you ever heard anyone saying that if you battling depression, if you battling mental health challenges, anxiety, deep sadness and stuff like that, what's the first thing that comes to mind that everybody says, take it, and you go, ew? Cod liver oil.
Oh.
Does that have anything to do with
omega-3s? Exactly. Omega-3, 6, and 9. Those are the superfoods known as fatty acids. Without those, your brain can function optimally.
So that's interesting. So what if somebody can't have, because we were looking at omega-3 or omegas for my son, but he doesn't like fish, and we came across a vegan version. Is that an effective option?
100%.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah. So the brain needs, so let's remember this, the brain needs superfoods, which are the fatty acids, which are omega-3, 6, and 9, okay? The other ingredients that the brain needs is proteins and amino acids. So the brain benefits greatly from steady supply of micronutrients as well, antioxidants found in fruits and vegetables. So if our foods are mainly fast food type, fried foods, and no rawness of green vegetables and fruits, guess what happens to your brain? Will shrink like a raisin.
Mm.
Literally. It's just the
Wow.
way, So we need B vitamins. Those are extremely important
I
for
was
the
just
brain
gonna
function.
say, yeah, where does B vitamins come in? Specifically B12, right?
B6 and B12. Those are the
Yeah, the B
two.
complex is very, very for
When you deal with
energy
a lot of
and
stress, when you deal with a lot
yeah.
of stress, if you talk to any naturopathic doctor, a homeopathic doctor, nutritionist, holistic, even dietitians, even though they are far behind what we need to consider optimally, they will say be complex. Take care of your brain first and foremost, right?
Mm.
We
Mhm.
need, of course, minerals and trace minerals, copper, zinc, sodium. It's all extremely fundamental for the brain health, for cognitive development as well.
So when you do this blood test and you look at that blood under the microscope, are you able to tell if someone is needing more of these nutrients?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We see through
Cool
the
is that?
microscope, we see if you are stressed, if your adrenals are taken care of, we see if you are able to digest and assimilate protein or fats or whatever it is that you eat. We see any deficiency that you may have in terms of minerals and vitamins, but also we see excess of vitamins and minerals if you have that. We see tons of bacteria. We see syndromes like leaky gut syndrome. We see issues with the from parasitic activity to viral or bacterial infections. We also see if you have, let's say, autoimmune disease or you are predisposed with whatever it's in your tissues, in your blood, in your cells. Because we look at your red blood cells and white blood cells. We look at their health, their cell membrane, but also what's around them, the area we call a plasma in which the cells live in. And we can tell if you have allergies, we can see that as well. We can also see to what you are allergic to, all kinds of things. We see things in such a way that we can actually prevent what's to come if you're not going to correct it in the next few years. And the beauty of it
Wow.
is what we tell people often is that bad news is you may have congested blood and tissues right now, right?
What
Because
does
you have
that what does that mean? Congested
congestion
blood?
means that you have a lot of debris. Imagine this. Imagine you have a pool in the backyard. Actually, you do. So imagine you have that pool open throughout the year, okay, and you never clean it, never clean it. The wind comes, the seasons come, and all kinds of gag goes in there, all kinds of garbage goes in there. The pool is now full. That water in the pool, it's full of garbage, all kinds of things. So I call it debris, let's say, right? And summer comes, it's beautiful day outside. You feel hot and you want to go swim. Now, if you jump in that pool, are you able to swim?
Probably not.
Probably not. That's exactly what happens to your cells in the body if you do not take care of your health and you're not aware that everything you eat and everything you do affects the surrounding of your red blood cells and the white blood cells. So now what happens is congested blood is that congested or debris filled with or gag pool that you have in the backyard that you haven't cleaned. You see, it's mind-boggling to me because people always think about, I buy a car, I have to change the oil, I have to clean it, I have to all kinds of things. But do we think about that to do the same thing for our body? Ever? Do we ever consider let's clean the oil? Let's clean the inside of our body somehow,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
the protocol that happens. So when you're congested because you've never even considered maybe even having I don't know, some kind of a fasting in some kind of a form just to clean the body, just to flush it through. Have
Yeah,
people
that's like changing the oil, isn't it?
That's like changing the oil, exactly.
Mm.
And there are times of the year that are best to do it, and there are phases in which we must do things.
Really?
Of course, you can't just go. Most often, people just go to the store, natural store, and they buy this box of a powder called detoxing the liver, detoxing the gut, detoxing the lymph, and or draining. Better yet, let's have a lymphatic drainage. There is a content here in plastic container powder. You mix it up in your drink, and you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, I stay away from those.
You can't. It doesn't work that way.
Mhm.
So we have to actually see what's happening to your body. What do you react to? Because you could take very good vitamins. You can take amazing food. You can buy organic. You can eat well, healthy, and yet your digestive system is not functioning well. So therefore, you're not digesting the food. You're not assimilating, and you're not able to assimilate the nutrients from your foods. So therefore, it goes to waste because you're not assimilating it. You know what I mean? So if you have, better yet, if you have bacteria or parasitic activity, guess what happens to that bacteria? Everything you eat that's good for you, they get fed too. So instead of your body getting nourished, the bacteria gets nourished and grows in your body. And then sometimes go.
Could this affect your weight as well as your mood and your all of everything?
Absolutely. You think of brain fog, you think of inability to focus,
Mhm.
you think of not being able to sleep, you get bloated, you get cramps in your stomach, you feel like you're hungry, but you just ate, right?
Mhm.
All these are symptoms that, okay, something is not right. Something is like, why am I eating like a bite of, or I don't know, a spoonful of soup, and I feel like I've eaten like 3 meals already, like done. It's
Yeah.
only one
Yeah.
spoon that I had. So all those questions, right? Did you know though that the human body only makes, the human brain makes up to what percentage of our whole body weight?
Oh my gosh. What a technical
Listen.
question.
So
I
the human brain
what
makes up to what percentage of our whole entire body weight?
um I I would say
I
my
would think that's
brain
pretty
weighs
small.
about like 2-3 pounds or something like that. If I don't know. What is that correct? 2-3 pounds brain?
It makes
Is that
2% of your body weight.
yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
So
What was the
Yeah.
percentage?
2%.
2%.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
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 I was
That
going to
makes
say
sense.
between 1 and 5, but 5 sounded way too big.
Yeah, 5 is
That's a
kind of big.
big brain.
I okay, so I was gonna ask you something. Um, so a while ago, I watched a documentary about fasting and the benefits of fasting. And so the whole, I guess the premise was that, your body is capable of healing itself. It's the food that you eat that don't allow that to happen. So
Mm,
if you want your body to kind of restart, give it a break from eating.
absolutely.
And so they were talking about intermittent fasting as, really good
Absolutely.
tool and technique to reset your body. How do you feel about that?
I agree with it, but I also can say that in some cases, some individuals have to be extremely careful.
Hmm.
Like if you have diabetes, for example, and or if you there are some conditions, okay, and I'm not gonna go into depth, but I would say about 90% or maybe 80% of individuals could easily do intermittent fasting with no issues at all. Now
Hmm.
remember, it's important even in intermittent fasting to drink
Yes.
pure water,
Yeah.
to cleanse the body. It's that flush that I was talking earlier. Like if you don't
Yeah.
flush it, it's still gonna stay there. It's not gonna go anywhere. So everything that's there, toxins and everything, has to come out of the body. There are three ways we eliminate toxins. You know which way they are? How do we eliminate toxins?
By drinking water and peeing,
Peeing, excellent, yeah.
sweating.
Sweating, very
I'm
good.
really good.
You can do that. And then the other one is what I said earlier. It was one thing you said, and I said,
Breathing.
yes.
Mm. Wow, those they seem so easy.
Yeah, it's easy. See, you have that limiting belief that you don't know enough, and this is too complicated. because you haven't really tapped into it, you haven't studied it. So you have that limiting belief, but you actually know more than you think you do. So
Yes, I
coming
do.
to someone like me, you will just be reassured, and maybe you learn one or two tips that you can take and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna do it now. And you get empowered to actually take your health in your own hands. Because
Yes.
here is the thing, Bella, and I always say, this is my slogan. This is what I love saying all the time, is that, you have a choice in life. And most often I hear people say, well, it's too expensive to take care of your health. It's too expensive to buy supplements. It's too expensive to, it's not covered by OHIP, right? And the medication is covered by OHIP. And I think it's the serious
So
thing to
for,
say.
for people that don't live in Ontario, that's our Ontario health insurance program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the serious thing, and I tell you why. Because the truth is, our health is our wealth. What's the point of investing all your time and energy in making money, being wealthy, living a luxurious life, but you eat, excuse my French, crap, and you don't take care of your health? And then it comes to a point where the health has declined to such degree that it's not even turned back. And now all that money that you made, instead of going and enjoying your life, you're going to have to now spend money more so than what you would have done to actually maintain your health, to take care of your disease. Because you have no choice. You have two choices: take care of your health or take care of your disease. It's your choice either way. Either wait until you get sick, because eventually you will, and you take care of your disease and you spend money. And the thing is that taking care of your health, it's costly, but it's not painful. When it comes to taking care of your disease, you no longer know the quality of your life any longer. You waste money now taking care of all these things that you have to, buying medications and stuff, because not everything is going to be covered by your head, but you are also in pain. So you ask me, why am I almost obsessed with my health? That's why. Because we are aging, we like it or we don't. And we are told that, oh, that's normal at your age. Oh, that's normal at your age. Here, take the pill. And I say, that's not normal at any age. You can age gracefully without having pain, without having to take meds, without having to have high cholesterol or diabetes, or gaining weight because your hormonal, your hormones are changing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. I can guarantee you that I can walk you through and teach you things that you can lose weight like this, but you have to follow through, and it's not easy. That I can vouch for, because I've gone through it myself. So anyway, so yeah, that's that. Did I answer? Do you have any more questions?
Well, we're talking about mental
intrigued
health,
right now.
right? What's that? What's that, Colleen?
I'm so intrigued right now. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, so I can give you my blood now. Can I like steal Michael's blood? Can I?
Well, you don't know his blood type? Do you know
I
his
know
blood
his blood type, but I want him to have his blood evaluated. Honestly,
yes.
he would. It's getting him to you, Felicia. That's gonna. So I'll figure it out.
He knows me. He could come.
I know.
Could you poke him? Could you just poke him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, can I just like poke him and take a little bit of his blood and bring it to you?
Unless he watches this show and he'll know it's coming.
Oh no, I could be sneaky.
So, we're talking about mental health and nutrition, and I have to ask you, to what degree can nutrition help mental disease? Now I'm talking about the more progressive mental diseases like depression, clinical depression, and things like OCD and bipolar or trauma or schizophrenia. What has your experience said to you?
Huge impact. If you change the nutrition, if you help with digestion and assimilation, but you also remove what should not be there, not only in terms of the foods, but removing what should not be in the body. Okay, the changes are unmeasurable, like incredible. I have seen it throughout the 25 years in this industry, times again. And in my case, I use homeopathy hand in hand with nutrition. Like, I don't just use nutrition alone, but I've seen results with nutrition alone. Like, you can reverse autoimmune disease with nutrition alone. That's how impactful it is.
That's amazing.
Can you
I
say
mean,
that
I
again? You
totally
can
agree.
reverse what?
Autoimmune
Auto,
disease. And many
autoimmune diseases.
with
Really?
just nutrition. Yes.
So
That's
would
incredible.
psoriasis be an example of an autoimmune disease that could
Yes.
be affected by diet?
100%.
Wow.
Um, it's incredible.
Yes,
It
it
is.
is incredible. So that's why it's important to get educated. If you don't have the time, you have other things, other priorities. Go seek, like, you know how now everybody goes and seeks help. I go to the professional for this, I go for that. You find the coach for business, you find the coach to make money, you have a coach for your whatever it is that your needs are, right? Why not have one health?
Yeah.
And you know, start with blood. Your blood tells you all, like, honestly, when you see the progression, if you come and take that one drop of blood, okay, put it on the microscope, we'll see it, we'll discuss it, I'll explain to you. Guaranteed in 2 weeks, you see results. 2 weeks. Now, boost the immune system up, and in 4 months, you give birth to a lot more healthier cells and a lot more cells because you need it with a low hemoglobin, for example. So that's basically how it works. It's just, that's why I love this tool that I have, because it shows and it explains and you see the results. It's like so black and white. There's no gray. It's what it is. And if you do it, you'll see the results.
Wow. Wow. There's so much hope in that.
It is. So think about, I always say, think about green leafy vegetables. And people say, but I eat salads every day. Well, guess what? Salads are not in that group. Salads are actually full of pesticides and parasites. It's not a green leafy vegetable.
So what is, like kale?
Like kale, spinach. You can take broccolis. You can eat anything green or any vegetables. Honestly, it's. But here is the thing again, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to go on a raw food diet. I'm going to do, and then they have leaky gut, and they can't breathe after from the pain.
So what is leaky gut exactly?
So leaky gut, it's tiny little holes, almost like in your intestinal walls. So the issue with that is that when you have such inflammation and acidity in the intestines, right? It corrodes the acid. The acid corrodes the intestinal wall, and it creates little holes. And now, if you have parasites, if you have bacteria, will leave your cells and it goes into the blood, and it goes into your tissues, and it goes into different places. The parasites are very nasty. They can come, and that's. It could be that some parasites end up in the brain. They cross the brain barrier because they are so smart. And the danger of it is that they learn to mimic how your cells live and function. And they sit around, because the thing is this, you don't know. Some people don't have symptoms, or like most of people out there, the percentage is high that when you have a stomach ache, you go to the medical doctor. You want to see, and the doctor is going to give you something for your pain. But it's not going into understanding what's causing that pain.
Right.
So in my case, I go and find out, oh, you have parasites. Here it is. You take this and we kill the parasites, we eliminate them, and then voila, held back, no more pain. Doctor will give you things for the pain, so you no longer have pain. And you do that again and again and again. And from Tums, you end up with Pepto-Bismol, and from that, you end up with antibiotics, and from that, you end up with something else. And the parasites continue to grow, the bacteria continue to grow. Your intestine and your acidic environment gives birth to more parasites, to more bacteria that continues to grow. And then eventually leaky gut happens because that acidity, that corrodation. Imagine the pool. Let's go back to the pool so you understand this. If we leave that gag in that pool and we don't clean it, what do you think could happen in a year or two to that pool?
And you're going to have to move.
It will corrode.
Yes.
You will actually have to take everything out to be able to function or to use it again. You will have to redo the same thing again. You'll pay a lot of money, 20,000 or more, to fix it. So think about if the concrete, because the pool is made out of concrete, it is quite sturdy. can be broken down by garbage that the wind and the rain and the snow brings. Imagine what the food you eat that you don't digest, that ferments in your stomach and sits there for days. There are people that are constipated and they don't know they are constipated, for example. And their food sits in there, corrodes. Literally, it's like acid upon acid. What will happen to your stomach eventually?
Lots of holes.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So coming
Wow.
to me, we see what the issue is. We remove all the stuff that cannot be there, and we ensure that we kill the bacteria, kill the parasites, and remove them, and then we start nourishing the body. Because if we nourish the body first, for example, which often people do, oh, I need immune, support. I need B vitamins. I need zinc. I need vitamin C. I need good food. And you're feeding the bacteria, you're feeding the parasites, keep on feeding, and you get nothing, and you still feel like I'm drained. I can't sleep. I'm in pain. I have a headache. I have migraine. I'm gaining weight. What the heck is going on? I'm spending all this money and nothing, no results. So then you say, the heck with this nutrition nonsense, spend money on everything. I'm going to the doctor, I'm going to get the pain relief. Get the pain, papa, you feel better. And then what happens in a year or two? It gets worse.
Yeah.
Because you haven't removed the problem. You just put the Band-Aid on top so you no longer feel the problem.
That's right. It is a Band-Aid. It is a Band-Aid.
Yeah, you're treating the symptoms, not the actual problem.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Wow, so much to think about. But we are out of time. So I wanted you to tell everybody how to get in touch with you if anybody's interested to get all the good stuff that you talked about done. How can they get in touch with you?
So I'm working currently at 2 clinics. One is in Bronte in Oakville, Bronte Naturopathic Clinic. So Bronte Natural Clinic. Oh my goodness. What's it called? Wait a minute. I have to think.
This is the trick question.
Maybe one place where people can reach you and then you can direct them to the 2 different addresses where you work.
So yeah, definitely. So you can Holistic Healing Arts Center in Brantford and Bronte Natural Clinic in Oakville. And the best probably is to put my email up. So healwithfelicia907@gmail.com.
Correct. 907@gmail.com.
And if somebody doesn't live in your area, who should they be seeking out in their area? Like, is this a naturopath that they're looking for? Is it a homeopath? What is the who's qualified to do this blood analysis and that sort of stuff?
So it is a completely different course you have to take, regardless if you're a naturopath or a homeopath or a holistic nutrition. So you look for either a homeopath or a naturopath who has this training.
What the designation should I be looking for?
So you look for live cell microscopy. It's called live cell microscopy.
Live cell microscopy. And so you're saying could any naturopathy clinic
practitioners? No, they don't always. They don't all have this. So yeah, you have to. You know what? If you're not certain, you can connect with me. Send me an email. I'll be more than happy to actually find one for you in your area if you're not near me.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah. So and also just remember one thing: you come to me once. You don't have to come in another 4 months, right? So you come once, even though it's further away. You come, you get your goodies and your packages, right, with all your directions, and we can connect via Zoom or via virtual way, if you may. So you don't have to always drive to me, but we can connect that way. So if you can't find someone that you trust or you know in your area per se, you can drive a bit and come for one time every 4 months.
Well, and you're on the way to Niagara Falls, so if they can make a weekend of it or a vacation of it.
So Felicia, can you check that email address on the screen? Make sure it's correct.
Heal with Felicia 907. Yes, that's very correct.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
remember, if you're listening and you find this useful and you would like to know how to eat right for your blood type, send me an email.
I'm sending you an
That's a free
email.
bonus there for you.
Now,
Definitely.
Felicia, is it all right if I share your email with some friends that I know would benefit from this?
Absolutely, please do.
No, don't do it. Yes, do it. Okay, well, we're out of time. Thank you so much for all of that information. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So much to think about, and truly what you said about your health being your wealth. And you either take care of your health or you take care of your disease. I mean, puts things into perspective, right? And we need to be a little bit more um,
Proactive.
proactive. Yes, absolutely, in taking care of our health. And if we could do it with just simply changing the way we eat or what we eat, I think those are really simple steps, right? And yeah, amazing. I'm definitely psyched. I'm definitely willing to um, give you my blood.
I'm the vampirist.
And now
After
that we
I'm
can
the
come, now
alien.
that we can come see you in person and not get in trouble, then
Yes,
we'll drive it down and
yes, definitely, definitely. Well, we do have a big announcement to make, don't we? Colleen,
Yes, we do.
do you want to take it away?
oh, I'm taking it.
Yes.
um, yeah. So we have absolutely loved doing this, and we want to thank our audience and all of you for participating and sharing with us. And we started this because COVID happened. And we were, you know what, mental health started being a real challenge for a lot of us. And it's interesting that we started in Mental Health Month 2 years ago, and I don't remember that I knew that it was Mental Health Month. um, and so what we've decided is we want to take a step back now that we can visit each other and see each other in person. We want to take a step back and take a little break over the summer, and we'll still be in contact. We'll be in the group, and we'll be sharing our videos for the on the YouTube. On the YouTube, I sound like an elderly person. So we'll share links from our YouTube channel, and we will be there to answer questions. And we really want to hear from you. And Felicia, I know that you had some questions that you thought that would be helpful for our audience to answer while we're doing this little hiatus. Would you like to share some of the questions that you were thinking about?
So what I was thinking about is whomever has viewed our show and has an opinion, or has a feedback for us, we'll appreciate a feedback. And even if that feedback is criticizing some of the things we have done or in the format in which we have operated these couple of years, we welcome it because we want to improve and we want to bring forth that which will help others. So if you find it that it needs some tweaks and some add-ons and some, I don't know, whatever it is that you feel, please listen to some of our episodes and give us your honest feedback. We will gladly take it and honor it. And we are here to work on the transformation based on your guys' comments. Yeah.
Feedback is a gift. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely agree
So
with
how
that.
can we make this even better?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What's
And
missing and what do you like about it? Give us, even that. We need
Sure,
a
I
booster.
I
we
take
also like
compliments
that.
too.
We also like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and as for us, we are going to take this time and dig deeper into learning more and becoming even better at presenting what we think everybody needs. And so I'm taking my education further into counseling psychotherapy. And that's what I'll be doing as I've already started. But I think the past 2 years what it has done for me doing this show is it has really deepened my appreciation for mental health, because every show was literally to make us feel better. What can we do to feel better, to bring more joy into our lives? And so I so appreciated every single opportunity I had doing this show with you ladies, whether you were presenting and I just listened and I learned as a student, or whether I was presenting and I needed to, do the research and dig deeper. It was just a class in its own, and we talked about this before the show. It was like a 2-year program, and so I really really appreciated every single episode we did on this show together, and all this is a gift that stays. I mean, it's on YouTube, so everybody can go and enjoy them and look at them and learn and share with other people if you feel it's beneficial to you. Most probably somebody else is going to find it beneficial as well. So it's been a blast. That's all I can say.
So
Yes.
before, I haven't forgotten my question at the beginning, ladies.
We have 2 minutes.
Yes. So in 2 minutes, I'm just asking for you to give titles. You don't have to.
I'm trying
If you
to.
want, you can share why. But of the 24 episodes that we've done and that we have available on YouTube, which ones would you say stand out, and share, if you'd like, why or in what capacity? Felicia, which ones would you announce? Like, would you
Honestly,
take
looking
note of?
back, I think the one that I've learned most from, and I was in a wow state and aha kind of moments, was working for self-care episode.
Mm.
I've always thought that self-care means being too selfish, so you can't really take time for yourself. And it was a an eye opening for me, and heart opening and mind opening and everything opening. Like, it was like really not just the part that I've done, as Della says, as we worked on it and we got exposed to that. I remember every week prior to the show, with each topic, I was challenged by the topic, and things came upon me, and I was like reacting to things, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, how do I put this into words, to how do I do this so I don't react like that? Why are we reacting? Why are we bringing the our conscious mind is bringing in what the subconscious is working on, which is fascinating, right? So working on that, I think that would be the one that comes, like the first one that comes to mind is that. But I mean, we've done so many, and I'm sure that if I was to look back, like Della said, take some time to look back and even read the title so I can remember, right? Probably I'll have more than one, but that's the one, self care.
Awesome. Thank you. And
So
Della?
I'm gonna pass the baton to you, Colleen, because
Oh,
I'm drawing a blank
you
totally.
know, okay, so I have a whole slew of them that really excite me. We've done so many, like I said, we've done so many, but there's we had, if you remember, we did the episode about how to ask for forgiveness as well as how to forgive, like both sides of the forgiveness question. Self-talk, which is a subtopic that comes up in almost every coaching session that I have, is self-talk. So that one I think is invaluable. It's an amazing opportunity to kind of start to take notice of what you're saying to yourself.
Mhm.
I really like the one about boundaries, because I
Yeah.
think that we overwhelm ourselves because we're taught to be nice. And sometimes setting a boundary is how you can regain some of that energy, some of that time for the self-care
Wait,
and triggers.
I have to say this. Prior to working on the boundaries, I can tell you this, that I had no clue what boundaries were. So imagine my life up to 2 years ago. That's actually when I started reading that book 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember you talking about that book.
Yes,
Yes, that you
it's the
started.
first time ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done so many things the wrong way.
Mhm.
Talk about being burned out. Anyway, go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And
So I
lastly is
do remember one too. So go ahead, Colleen, and I'll remember. I remembered one that I
yeah,
want
the
to share.
last one I'll mention is just the one that I said at the very end there is the triggers, and about how when we get triggered by what somebody else is saying, or it has nothing to do with what they said or their opinion of us or whatever, it has to do with what we think about ourselves.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So what
absolutely.
popped in your mind, Della?
So the one that popped in my head was the one we did for I think it was called Victim or
Yeah.
Valiant.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, Valiant. Yes, yes, yes. And I think this really spoke to me because for the longest time I suffered from that whole victimhood mentality, right? And so to learn how to take responsibility and look at things from a different perspective and just change your paradigm, it was it was really big for me, and so I really enjoyed talking about that on the show. So definitely, I mean, every single show has been really valuable. Of course, we would pick always the topics that were, you know, mostly on our minds, but also the ones that we picked were the ones that really affected us personally in our
Yeah.
own lives. That's how we picked the topics, right? There were just things that everybody could relate to.
Mm.
So, I mean,
Absolutely.
all gold, all gold.
And
So
all available indefinitely forever on YouTube.
that's right. So go to YouTube, find us the Butterfly Effect talk show. You have to put the talk show in there for us to come up, and please subscribe to that channel and show us, how you're liking the shows, how you're benefiting from them. Make sure you leave comments after the show, after you watch each show on YouTube, because YouTube really likes that. And by giving us thumbs up and subscribing to our channel and really like commenting and engaging in the topics, YouTube pushes that video for more people to see it. So that I ask of you, of
Yeah.
everybody, everybody. So it's been a blast. Felicia, anything you want to add?
I would say take care of your health today so you don't have to take care of your disease tomorrow. And yeah, thank you, ladies. It was fun, and I'm looking forward to this vacation. I call it a vacation, and looking forward to see what happens next.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to all the viewers and people that have commented, people that have given us their feedback, and thank you also for those ones who are going to watch, and hoping that you also will comment and give us your feedback. And I really hope that this has impacted some people's lives somehow, and has brought up a little bit of light in their life, in their life. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. So shall we say goodbye?
Yes.
For now.
This is the butterfly effect, bringing you love.
Hope.
And compassion.
Till next time.
See you next time. Bye, everybody.
Good night. Have a great summer.
Yes, enjoy.